Hello and welcome to Ask A Web Geek. My name is CJ Gilbert, and you're joining us for episode 34 of Ask A Web Geek. So glad that you've come along. My name is CJ Gilbert, and I'm the Web Safari Guide. What does that mean? It means I help people through the internet, the jungle of the internet. I help business owners with their websites, their marketing, and all the amazing tools that we have at our disposal. I've got a lot of great stuff to share with you today, so let's jump right in. But first, I want to introduce to you our featured animal of the week. And I don't know about you, but this week I feel like I'm moving just a little bit slower. I've been working extra hard in the jungle for my clients, leading people through. I'm leading more expeditions through the jungle now than ever before. And I'm feeling a little tired. I'm feeling a little fatigued in the morning, right? So maybe that's you. Maybe you're physically tired. Maybe you're mentally or emotionally tired. There's a lot of that going around right now. So I want to encourage you to be patient with yourself this week. And I want you to remember the tortoise in our jungle. He moves pretty slow, but you know what? He gets everywhere he needs to go, and he does it one step at a time. So this week as you're moving through your jungle, I just want you to remember the tortoise, and I want you to remember to take the step one step at a time, and it's okay to move slowly. When you're in tortoise mode, it's okay. Sometimes you need to take one step at a time and retreat into your shell and rest. Take another step or two or three or four and plod along and then rest. So this week I want you to remember, it's okay to take it slow. It's okay to take care of yourself, rest as you go, and still keep moving forward. So that's my highest encouragement for you this week. Keep moving forward in your jungle. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. It's okay to move slow. It's okay to take one step at a time. Progress is progress. Am I right? All right, let's find my slideshow. I'm going to kick off the hat. We're going to get right into it because it is now time to jump into the show. It's time to Ask a Web Geek. Ask a Web Geek is an almost weekly show with CJ Gilbert where you can ask a web geek any questions that you have about websites, technology, or more. So I ask you, what would you like to ask a web geek? This is for you. This is the time and place where you get to tell me what you want to learn more about. What can help you move through your jungle this week? I'm here to teach you that your website is your number one tool. Your website is your number one tool to grow and support your business. And if you think of it like that way, it's going to help you in so many different areas of your business. It's going to help you attract more customers, make more sales, enhance customer service, increase your efficiency. It's going to help you save time, save money, and serve your clients better, faster, and easier. I'm going to spend some time today talking about exactly how we can make that happen. But first, I want to say congratulations. If you're listening to the sound of my voice right now, that means you want to improve your business, you want to improve your professional endeavors, and you're taking the steps to do so. So I want to just take a minute and say good for you. Congratulations. Take a moment, pat yourself on the back, and acknowledge that you're doing what you need to do to move your business forward, move your life forward, and you're one of the small percentage of the world that's actively taking steps to improve your situation. So to you, I say congratulations and well done. Ask a Web Geek. We're in all of these locations. Let me really quickly run through and tell you how it works. Join our Facebook group, Ask a Web Geek. That's where we invite you to drop your questions, make a new post right there on the page in front of everyone, and ask me your question. What's going to happen is our audience, our community is going to jump in and start answering your question, and I also will answer your question at my next show. At my soonest available opportunity, I will answer that question for you in as much detail as we can reasonably do in this format. Then I produce that show. We film it together live in the Facebook group. I go live right here into the Facebook group. That's where I am now. Ask a Web Geek on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific. And during that time, we hang out for a little while. We chat. I finish my slides. I check my screens. And eventually, we start taping the show, the one that you're listening to right now. And then a couple days later, I chop it, I slice and I dice it, and I create a podcast out of it. I put the video up on YouTube. Please go subscribe on YouTube so that you can see when that final video is released. Also, follow on Twitter, another great place to ask questions. And to tweet along with the show, because when it goes to YouTube, it also becomes a podcast. The video goes to YouTube, the audio goes to all the podcast players, and you're able to subscribe in your podcast player of choice. And when you're listening to this show in the future, tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, come on over to the Twitter, Ask A Web Geek, and just tell me what episode you're listening to, what I just said that made you laugh, what additional questions that you have that you need more information about. Disclaimer, you must be willing to have your question or issue addressed in a public forum. As I just mentioned, I put the show out in all those public places, and I just want to make sure the topics that we're talking about in your business are okay for us to discuss in those formats. Of course, if we need to hide a password field or we need to obscure some back end of your website for a few minutes off screen, we can do that. We have ways around that. Just ask the Web Geek for what you need, and we'll take care of it. Keep in mind, this is not legal or professional advice. I've been a web developer for over 20 years, so I certainly know a heck of a lot about websites and social media and all these tools and technologies available for you, but I'm not an attorney. I'm not a CPA, and you need to make sure that you have those licensed professionals in your business to give you that sound, professional, and legal advice. So keep in mind, you still need to consult with your attorney and your CPA for these business decisions, and you accept responsibility for everything, including your own success. So who am I? I'm a web geek. My name is CJ Gilbert, and I'm here to help. I call myself a web jungle safari guide because I understand the internet is a jungle. It's too easy to get lost. It's too easy to fall down a hidden path, and that's why I'm here to help. I'm a bunch of things. I'm a musician. I'm a speaker, a teacher, an author. I've learned so much about business and entrepreneurship over the last many years. I've had my own business. I've met some amazing people and studied under some incredible mentors. And I'm also a musician. I love to play the piano, and I've been able to share some of that on some of the more recent experiment shows that you'll find if you go to askawebgeek.com. I'm married. I have 3 kids. We live in La Mesa, San Diego, and I clearly need a new photo because these ones right here are just getting a little older at this time, a couple years back here. But anyway, I'm very proud of my family. We homeschool. I work from home, and we have a great life together. So here I am. I'm here to help you. I've got my control panel to the internet, my computer, and we can get together on a Zoom call. We can work virtually. We can do all kinds of things together. So just let me know how I can help you. If you have any questions we can answer on the show, we'll do it. If you need more help or offline help, please let me know because I'm here to help. My business is serving your business. You know, I actually believe that my business acts as a megaphone, as a magnifying glass, as a multiplication tool for your business. Because as I work with you, I'm able to help you do more business and do better business. And that is so exciting to me because it allows me to help even more people. You see, I believe as a direct result of my work, it's magnifying what you do. And it helps you reach more people. So if I can work with, personally, let's say 1,000 people, but then those 1,000 people can impact another 1,000 people because of the multiplication effect, I'm actually able to help millions by helping the hundreds that I personally work with. Isn't that cool? So thanks for being one of those people today. Be on the lookout for your golden nugget. Our minds are so interesting. As you'll learn something new every time you watch one of these shows, you read my book, you watch one of my videos, even if you watch the same video over and over, especially if you watch the same video over and over, because you're going to be in a different place the next time you hear it, and your mind is going to catch something different, translate something different, give you a different idea because of where you are this week as opposed to last week when you heard it the first time. So consume this information in repetition. Watch these shows over and over again. And what's so interesting is you're going to get a different golden nugget every time. So all you have to do is look for it and you'll get it. Grab some paper, draw a line right down the middle, label the left side notes and the right side actions. That way, as we're going through the course today, you can take all the notes you want right down that left side, and then there's going to be certain things that stand out to you, and you're going to need to take action, quick action on those items. Put those right in the right column. And that way you can find them easily later. And make sure to star your golden nuggets. Ask a Web Geek, sponsored by... This week we have a brand new sponsor. It's Joe Nicasio and the Employee Escape Plan. Employee Escape Plan is the ultimate step-by-step mentoring program for creating your dream job through entrepreneurship. Most of my audience is entrepreneurs, but they could be transitioning entrepreneurs. Do you feel like you're stuck in a dead-end job and you just don't know how to get out of it? I might suggest that you take a visit right over to employeeescapeplan.com and learn how to escape the 9-to-5 by becoming an entrepreneur, owning your own business, setting your own schedule, and freeing yourself from the shackles of the 9-to-5. Learn more at employeeescapeplan.com. Also want to encourage you to start your day right. If you haven't already, take a trip to this address, amcall.gilbertstudios.com. AMCall, that's AM like the morning time, like 9 a.m., 10 a.m., amcall.gilbertstudios.com. Put yourself in the mindset of success. This is a 15-minute phone call. Well, it used to be a phone call, and now it's actually a Facebook Live. It's all of the above. It's a phone call, it's a Facebook Live, it's a YouTube show, it's a podcast, and you can get all the details at amcall.gilbertstudios.com. Take 15 minutes per day to put yourself in the mindset of success, learn some key principles that help keep you moving forward. This is one of the greatest things that I do every day to help me be successful. Learn some key principles, learn some of the things that I teach you, and keep moving forward. Do the next right thing. Check that out. I made you an affiliate link, basically, with my own link on it. amcall.gilbertstudios.com. You're going to put in your name and email, and Eric's going to send you all the info, the links to the Facebook group, the phone number, the passcode if you want to do it that way. Totally up to you. amcall.gilbertstudios.com. All right, buckle up and stay hydrated. I've got a really cool thing to share with you today. I'm going to take a drink of water. I encourage you to do the same. We're going to jump right in. Our featured topic of the week. I get asked this question a lot. Sometimes I don't get asked this question. Sometimes this is the question that people would ask if they knew to ask a question, because I talk to people about using their website better, and I get a lot of confused looks. What? What do you mean I can use it better? Isn't it just a pretty business card? Well, here's the amazing thing about a website. Your website is whatever you think it is. So if you think that your website is a pretty business card, that's what you get. Your website is a pretty business card. But I'm here to teach you another level, another layer of information. I want you to recognize that your website is a powerful tool. And if you think of it like that, it can actually enhance every area of your business. What? How is that even possible? Well, let me tell you, it's not just a pretty business card, or at least it doesn't have to be just a pretty business card. Let's learn some key principles to help you make your website work for your business. I'm going to be talking to you right now over the next few minutes about my free video workshop, 5 Keys to Unlock the Profit Hidden in Your Website. You know, I started my own company in 2004, 2006 through a series of events, and I started working with business owners on their websites, and what I discovered is they know they need a website, but they have no idea what to do with it. And that's why I ended up jotting down some of my thoughts, and I ended up writing this book, 5 Golden Keys to Sharpen Your Website, because I found out business owners know they need a website, but they don't know what to do with it. So I had to come along and say, this is what you do with your website. Let's make it work for your business. It's a tool. Let's put it to work. And let me show you how exactly we can do that. So I created a 7-part video series. Each one of these videos is less than 10 minutes, so you can consume it in bite-sized pieces. I want you to sign up for this totally free class, and you're going to get the option of, I'm going to offer you a choice. Do you want to get a reminder email from me once a day, and that way you can go through this course over 1 week? Or would you rather get the reminder email every 3 days? That's going to stretch the course over 3 weeks. Or if you're really studious and you just want to dedicate a Saturday to it or an evening to it, you can go straight through the whole thing and do it all at one time. But there are exercises and questions between each video, so I would encourage you to consume one of the videos and then do the exercises and questions. That's going to help you get the most out of it. Let me tell you what's in each step. So video number 1 is our welcome video. This is where we set the table, and I'm going to teach some key principles to help increase your learning. Now, if you're a longtime fan of this show, you've seen some of these principles before, but not all of them. So I encourage you, don't skip this video. It's important to set the table, put yourself in the right mindset for learning, and then we'll begin the process. In video 2, I think it's important to tell you how I got here. What happened in the web jungle? I share my story of how I went through a couple different industries and what I studied in school and my interests in language and these other things. Of course, I've always been a computer geek. That's not going to surprise you. But it was a very specific series of events that led me to open up my own business. And I think a lot of people are like me. You get into a business because you have a skill in some area. Maybe you know how to fix cars. Maybe you know how to bake cupcakes. Maybe you know how to build a website. And somewhere along the line, you realize you're owning a business. And that's totally different than the mindset of I build cars, I build websites, I bake cupcakes, right? So I had to figure that out for myself, what it's like to have a skill, to then open a business, and to then think of your business as a business and all the other pieces that you need. This is a process that I went through, and I bet you're going through something similar. So take a look at video number 2 to learn my story, how I got to here, and then how I applied the things that I learned in my previous jobs to this, and how I really discovered how to make a website work for you. So in video 3, we really dive deeper, and I teach you about golden key number 1. This is your goals and your demographic targeting, and I'm going to teach you the 2 most important questions for your website, but not just for your website, for all of your marketing. Once you have this down, once you have this crystal clear in your mind, this is going to help you in everything that you do for your business for the rest of your career. It's going to help you know exactly how to talk and who you're talking to in your marketing, in your emails, flyers, brochures, your website, your social media. This is going to crystallize for you a lot of the pieces that you may feel very vague and confused on right now. Video 3, we're going to help you set your goals. Now, it's okay if you get to video 3 and I ask you the question, what are your goals for your website? And you're like, I don't know. Goals? Can my website have goals? That may be something you've never put together for. And that's okay, because as you go through the rest of the videos, you're going to get some goals. And then you can come back to this step and you'll be able to answer these questions. So this is why I was saying to you earlier, it's so valuable to go through some material and then start over again and go through it again, because you're going to get something different when you do. So if you find yourself in video 3 and you don't have a lot of answers yet to the questions that I'm asking, that's totally okay and totally normal. I would say answer what you can, just keep going through the videos, and then come back to it. I guarantee you'll have more goals then. Video 4 is your search. So in video 4, I'm teaching golden key number 2. I hope these numbers don't get confusing. It does make sense to me, and so hopefully to you. Video number 4 is your search. And you're going to learn how people find your website and how we can encourage it. We're going to talk about all the steps that come before your website, what we can do in your website to encourage that, but also some of the external tools that are pointing into your website and how we can make those links more and better and work better for you. Then in video number 5, we're going to talk about your sales. This right here, it might be the number 1 goal of your website. And if that's you, if this is your number 1 goal for your website, you're right on, because this is what I would say most people's number 1 goal. 80% of people, they want to make more sales through their website. So if that's you, you're really going to want to listen up to video number 5 and take a lot of notes, because this might be the most important video for you. You're going to learn the most important phrase of all. It's a phrase that I say over and over and over again, but I want to drill it into your mind, and I want you to really internalize it, because as you do, that's going to begin the process of you understanding what it's like for your customer or your prospective customer to come to your website and to get to know you. And as they get to know you, they're becoming more familiar with you, which is going to lead them right to doing business with you. Don't skip video 5. It's probably the most important for you to get more sales out of your business. Then we're going to go into video number 6, where we're going to talk about your service, your customer service. Did you know this is the most overlooked treasure that's hidden in your website? I think a lot of people understand that their website is a tool to help them make more sales, or at least, but when I say that to someone, they're like, oh yeah, I knew that, right? That makes sense to you right off the bat. But did you also know it could be a customer service agent? This can save you so much time. This can increase your productivity, and I'm going to teach you a couple ways that you can do it that you may not have thought of before. I got a lot of great feedback about this video because it's something that's really overlooked, but it's really powerful. So make sure to check out video 6 and learn about how your website can improve your customer service. And then we wrap it all up in video number 7 as I talk about the next steps. I'm going to give you key number 5 in that video, which is also really powerful and is going to help you scale from that moment. And whatever you choose to do at this point, you could watch the videos again, you could contact me with more questions, you could reach out to somebody else that you're working with. It's going to become clear to you when you make it to this step what the next right step is for you. So I'm going to give you a couple options and teach you and give you one opportunity of how you can find all the hidden treasure in your website. Now, at this point, I would encourage you, watch it again, watch it over again, because what's going to happen is I'm going to still be saying the same words on the video. It's pre-recorded. I already made it. But what's going to happen is you're going to hear something different, or something that I say is going to spark a new idea for you. So this is valuable for you to watch this course 3, 4 times, even 7 times. Make this something that you do once a month for the next year, and just imagine how much more powerful your website can become, but really how powerful your website, your business can become. As you're working on your website, you're actually working on your business. I see the two things as being hand in hand. Your website supports your business, or at least it should. Learn all the ideas in my free video workshop, 5 keys to unlock the profit hidden in your website. You can sign up for this at mywebsitesafari.com. That's my website, WEBSITE, Safari, SAFARI.com. mywebsitesafari.com. And then after that, let me know how I can help you. I'm available for private coaching. I can help you get your coaching, your teaching, your school group online, your mom's group, your church group, your business group, or other meeting online. If you need some private coaching or private help with your business or your group, let me know. Here's my phone number, 619-512-3210. You can call or text CJ at 619-512-3210. Feel free to write me, CJ at AskAWebGeek.com. I'll take all your questions. I'll take all your interests. You let me know how I can help you. CJ at AskAWebGeek.com. And I have to remind you, we are still doing virtual business networking. It's the month of June. We're going to be doing it at least for the rest of the month of June on Thursdays and Fridays. And here's the meeting IDs right here. You'll also find these in the show notes for my show. You'll also find this on my blog and on Meetup and numerous other places. I'm doing this on behalf of exceptional entrepreneurs, Thursdays and Fridays. I open the doors at 11:30. We kick off the meeting. We run it from noon to 1, and we even have more networking from 1 to 1:30, sometimes a little later. So come check it out. plan for at least noon to 1, but if you can be here from 11:30 to 1:30, we have a really great time. So hopefully you can check that out this coming week. You can find out more in the show notes if you're on the website, or if you're at YouTube, it's going to be right below in the show notes. Otherwise, jump over to gilbertstudios.com/blog. I have an article in there. It's time to get online. Or you can just jump right over to meetup.com and search Exceptional Entrepreneurs. They're on Facebook too, Exceptional Entrepreneurs. All righty, it's now time to Ask a Web Geek. Let me tell you really quickly the last few shows that we did. This is episode 34 that we're in right now. We did episode 33 a couple weeks ago, and I shared some training that I have been fortunate to do in other groups. I did an introduction to social media. This one's about a 20-minute training. And then I also did a deep dive into LinkedIn. This one's an hour training. It begins with some of the same key principles of social media, but then it goes much deeper into LinkedIn, and we talk about customizing your profile and how to use the advanced search tool built right in. So do check that out in episode 33. Then in episode 32, we did a website jungle tour. I took you on a tour of different kinds of websites that I've made and showed you, here's a site I made, this is for the company, this is the kind of site it is, this is what it does, this is why it's different. I show you the 7 different levels of websites that I can make and give you examples of what that looks like in each one of the slides. Next, episode 31 is more Zoom features. I'll just point out episode 31 and 30 is a continuation of our Zoom series. This is part 3 and part 4 as we talked about using Zoom as a tool to connect and work online. So it started a couple episodes before that. I do have all the links cross-linked in the show notes to each other, so just look for it there. If you want to start with part 1 and walk your way through it, that makes sense. Otherwise, feel free to check into episodes 30 and 31 as I talked about certain features that became new or changed, and I wanted to give you more information. And then in episode 29, we talked about 8 ways to share your message virtually. I totally stole this message from my speaking coach, RV Robinson. I know she doesn't mind though, because I take her material, the 8 ways to share your message virtually, and then I expand on it about which specific tools you could use or websites or whatever that you could use to do those 8 ways, that you could share those 8 ways virtually. So check that out. It's in episode 29. Do come over to our Facebook group, Ask a Web Geek. We've always got some ongoing conversations pinned up in the announcement area. This one on the screen right now is asking you to recommend some good books and resources for offline, inexpensive guerrilla marketing techniques and ideas. So please find these posts in our Facebook group. Chime in. We want to hear your opinion and suggestion. What books are you reading? What do you recommend? And finally, what questions do you have? After you go through that website safari course, you're probably going to have more questions, more specific questions. How do I use this tool? How do I upload this picture? What do I do about this? How do I make this work on my website? CJ, I want to implement what you just said to get more sales, but I don't know how to add whatever it is. Come right on back here to Ask a Web Geek and ask me those questions. Join our Facebook group, Ask a Web Geek. Find me on Twitter. Send me an email. However you do, smoke signals, Telegram. Okay, just send an email, right? Or a text, or call me, or leave a post in the Facebook group, and I will answer your question in an upcoming show. I've got a live studio question right now. Let's check in with Betty. Hi, Betty. Betty says, I know you may not answer this on this show, but why does Facebook arbitrarily stop my Facebook Live recordings before I push the stop button? Wow, it sounds like Facebook hates you, Betty. The answer is, I don't know. But one of the answers that I can give you is, are you using the new Facebook Live producer? Something that I might encourage you is to just be patient, because when they're using new things, things change. They realize what's broken. They find the glitches. They find the bugs, and it does get worked out. So in some way they force you to use this new tool, and then you're forced to encounter bugs in it, and then they kind of work it out and it changes. It could change every single day as Facebook implements new ideas and suggestions. I'll give you a specific example. 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, something like that, I was using the new live producer to do an episode of Ask a Web Geek, but I discovered it didn't do what I wanted it to do because I come into this group, Ask a Web Geek, as my page, as my speaker page, CJ Gilbert. And when I clicked go live and it said, great, you're going to use the new live producer today, it took me there and that option didn't exist. It wasn't even there. So I said, no, take me back to the old producer, the old live. And Facebook said, why? Why do you want to do that? And I typed into Facebook, this is what I want to do. This is why I'm doing it that way. Deal with it. I had to do that maybe 3 or 4 times over the next couple weeks. Tried the new live producer, didn't do what I wanted it to do, told Facebook about it, went back to the old way. And it wasn't too long, it wasn't but a couple weeks later that I went into live producer, and all of a sudden it lets me do what I want to do. Now, right now, I'm using the new live producer, and it's letting me do it as my page into my group. So they heard me or they heard others saying the same thing, and then they implemented that, and now it's live for everybody. So what I would encourage you to do is things change. Facebook is always testing stuff. Here's another thing to tell you about. You may be in a test group. You could be sitting right next to your girlfriend and you're both on your phones and you're both looking at the Facebook app, and you're going to click a button and you say to her, hey, look at this button, look at what I'm doing here. And she looks at hers and she doesn't have that button on her phone. And you're like, how is this possible? We're both looking at the same thing on the same thing and it looks different. It's because Facebook is always testing new features, new things, and one of you could be in that test group and see that new feature before the other one does. It happens all the time. So my short answer is, I don't know. My long answer is, it's because they are always trying to improve this technology. And as you know, technology is always fighting us, and there's bugs and there's glitches, and it's the whole reason I have a job. So quite frankly, just be patient with yourself, be patient with Facebook. It can be very frustrating when you're wanting to get your message out and you're prepared to do that, and everything in your mind is all around your message that you want to put out and what you're going to say, and then you get into the Facebook and you click the button and it fights you and it doesn't do what you want to do, and by the time it's actually working, it's like your energy is drained away and you were all excited and ready to share this message, and then you had to fight with the technology and it turns on and you go from hi and welcome to my great message to hi, I'm finally live on Facebook. And I'm speaking from personal experience. So if that happens to you, just know it happens to all of us. It happens to the web geek, and I'm used to battling with the internet, so it's no surprise to me. So hopefully that gives you a couple ideas, Betty. She says she's laughing out loud. Yes, she's using the new producer. It's good to know about the test groups. I used to volunteer to be in test groups at work, but I knew it was happening. Exactly. Yeah. Facebook's very generous with their programmers. They'll let a programmer take a group of 20,000 people and test something on them and see what it's like and get some feedback and decide, yes, we like that feature, or no, we don't like that feature. So at any moment, you could be in one of those test groups. At any moment, there could be a glitch. At any moment, it could work, and it could work different tomorrow, and then it could work the same way again the next day as it did 3 days ago. And you're going to think to yourself, am I crazy? Is it different? What happened? You're not crazy. It's the technology. It literally changes every single day. If you go back and watch my first videos that I ever made, you're going to see they are so blue. They're blue in view, and that's because I didn't know how to color correct my webcam for the longest time. And I'm convinced that when I first started using my webcam, the setting wasn't there. It wasn't even there, because as you can imagine, I went through every setting I could find to look at all the settings that I could tweak, right? Doesn't that sound like something I would do? Well, it is. And it wasn't there. And then here I am a year later, months later, I don't even know how long, I found a button in the settings where I could color correct the thing. And I'm like, oh, here it is. And it looks so much better now. Did I miss it the first time? Maybe. But you know what I think is more true? it wasn't even there the first time. They added it later on a later update. The software updates. Your software is always updating, on computers. And so I bet that setting appeared newly since I first saw it. So anyway, that kind of thing is going to happen to you too. Does that help, Betty? I hope it does. Thanks for asking your question. Yes, we're always welcome to take live questions right here on the show. So jump into our Facebook group, Ask A Web Geek, and leave your question right there as a post, or jump onto the video and ask me right here in the comment section, just like Betty does. I love it. Thank you so much, Betty. Ask a Web Geek. I'm going to remind you about our sponsors one more time before I let you go. Let me get you to the big slides here. Our number one sponsor of the day is Employee Escape Plan, the ultimate step-by-step mentoring program for creating your dream job through entrepreneurship. For more information on that, visit employeeescapeplan.com. And Joe, thank you for my new mug. Love it. Employee Escape Plan. If you want to be a featured sponsor on an upcoming show, I would invite you to become a mug sponsor by sending me a mug with your logo on it. That's all it takes. You can get that address by emailing me, and we'll make sure that you get those details. Thanks, Joe. And start your day right. Go to amcall.gilbertstudios.com, sign up to get this info from Eric Lofholm, and then take 15 minutes per day to put yourself in the mindset of success. It's so crucial. I listen to this every single day. I'm either live on the call or I listen to the recording later. It's so valuable. Check it out, amcall.gilbertstudios.com. It's so value. It's so value. And free video workshop. If you weren't convinced before, I don't know what I can do to convince you, and I'm not even going to try. But if anything I said earlier sounds interesting, my website, safari.com. Make your website work for you. Make it work for you. Make it work for your business. Do you feel like you've spent time and money into your website? Make it work for you. Yeah. Fired up about that. And then whatever other questions you have, come right on back here to Ask a Web Geek and ask me those questions, and watch all of our previous shows, and subscribe on the YouTube, and join the Facebook group, and click all the buttons and do all the things. No, actually, I would love it if you'd subscribe on YouTube. That's my highest ask. We so close to getting 100 subscribers, which I need to do to get a custom link. So please go to YouTube, Ask a Web Geek. Go to AskAWebGeek.com, and there's a button right on the page there to get to the group. Can I show you? Can I show you in 2 seconds? Yes, I can. Here's the website right here, AskAWebGeek.com. Click this green button right here to join the Facebook group, and then click this blue button to subscribe on YouTube. Do both of those things, join our community, and we're so glad to have you there. Thanks for being with me today. My name is CJ Gilbert, and I am the Web Jungle Safari Guide. All right, I'll put on the hat one more time. Web Jungle Safari Guide. And I do this to remind you the internet is a jungle. We understand the internet's a jungle. It's so easy to get lost. It's so easy to go down the wrong path, to fall into the hidden quicksand or traps that you didn't even see coming. Join with a tribe of people. You can avoid all of that pain and misery and aggravation and lost money and lost time by joining a community that already knows the jungle, by joining a tribe, by hiring a well-trained guide that can lead you straight through the jungle, get you where you want to go. And that's what I'm here to do. Let me be your guide today. My name is CJ Gilbert. You've been joining us for the Ask a Web Geek podcast and show. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your time and attention. I want you to have a wonderful, wonderful week. Have a happy Wednesday. Ask me questions. Go take the 7-part video series. Let me know what you think. I'd love to get your testimony and feedback. And then come right on back to Ask a Web Geek to ask any questions that you have. We're here to help. So check us out at AskAWebGeek.com. Have yourself a wonderful day, a wonderful Wednesday, a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week in the Web Jungle. God bless. Okay, let's look at all these again. There's my slides. There's my slides and me. On this slide, very important information. And then we got the big slide, big cam. But we got the browser, AskAWebGeek.com. We got the browser and the CJ, AskAWebGeek.com. Okay, I think that's good. Please subscribe on YouTube. Boom. Roar. And then we're going to fly over here. We're going to click this blue button, subscribe on YouTube, by using the blue button on the Ask a Web Geek website, or you can just go immediately to youtube.askawebgeek.com. That's the shortcut link I've set up for it. The internet's a jungle. Roar. One step at a time. One step at a time. Slow steps are okay. Slow steps. See you next time.